Alright, what's going on guys, it's Lone Courier here, and I'm here to give you guys my opinions and a review on Gears of War 4. Now you're probably thinking, if you haven't seen my stream or anything, what the fuck are you doing, you twat? You're reviewing a game within a day of it being released. Yes, I'm aware of that, and I am reviewing it for good reason. Now if you're aware, yesterday I live streamed Gears of War 4 for around 24 hours. It's more like 23 hours, because I took a couple of breaks in between, you know, to get something to eat and drink. But I did play this for a full day, and I do feel like I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on this game so far, and I do feel like I can give an accurate review, because, well, I completed the campaign, I've played a lot of Horde mode, and I've played a shit ton of multiplayer, so may as well delve into it. So I'm going to get into the part that most people are more interested in, and that's going to be the multiplayer. I may cover Horde and campaign in our review, but this is going to be multiplayer from today. So I just want to say right now that it must be daunting for developers whenever they're taking on a franchise that's already been established, and it's already been established that the developer that's already done it has left. Basically what happened with Gears of War 4 was way back in 2014, Epic Games sold off the Gears of War franchise to Microsoft. Microsoft appointed Black Tusk Studios as the new head for the Gears of War project, and they basically made them the developer for all future Gears of War games. Now a lot of people were doubtful at first. They were like, right, who the fuck is Black Tusk Studios? Because they were newly formed, I think, and nobody really knew what kind of experience they had. And obviously when you've already got an established franchise and you're bringing in this new developer, everybody's a little bit doubtful at first. I'm not gonna lie, after games such as Halo 4, it's good reason to doubt a developer that's just taking on a franchise, because they might take it in a direction that you don't want it to go. So the Coalition, because that's who Black Tusk Studios are, Black Tusk changed their name to the Coalition in order to show us how devoted to Gears of War they are. And they basically named their head of staff, or whatever he does there, he's the head honcho, and that's Rod Ferguson. Now if you know who Rod Ferguson is, he's worked on all 3 previous Gears of War games. I don't know if he worked on Gears Judgment, but he's worked on all the main trilogy on Gears of War games, and everybody's excited to hear that, because, well, what better way to oversee a game and make it stay true to the classics than to have somebody on side who worked on the classics, you know? It's as simple as that. And so obviously Rod Ferguson has Gears of War at heart, and the Gears of War community at heart, because we didn't want some shitty game that's got nothing to do with the original trilogy, and that's what they've delivered us. They've delivered us a truly great Gears of War game. I'd actually be willing to say that this is possibly one of the most fun Gears of War games that there's been so far. Gears of War 1, 2 and 3 are fun, and UE, because UE is technically just Gears of War 1 remastered. They're all really good games, right? But they just never really held my interest for hours on end. But I love the campaigns of all 3 games, but the multiplayer side of things I could never really get into, except from UE. You know, the multiplayer is to them, well, Gears of War 2's UE, Gears of War multiplayer for Gears of War 2 is completely fucking broken. Let's just settle at that. Gears of War 2 is the red-headed stepchild. It's fucking shit, and it's not garbage as a whole, the game, it's just the multiplayer is broken as fuck, and Epic Studios even addressed that Gears of War 2 is broken. But Gears of War 2 is not very good, and Gears of War 3 was good, it was really good, but had some things that I didn't really enjoy in it, and Gears of War 4 kind of just fills that gap for me. You know, it does everything I want it to. It's a great game, and most of all, I'm pretty decent at it, so you know, it's safe to say that the more good you are at a game, the more fun you're going to have out of it. And well, I was never really all that good at the other Gears of War games. I'm not saying that it's a skill gap thing or anything, but I picked up this game and I felt right at home on it. You know, it just feels like a great blend between all 3 Gears of War games, and it's give you this really great game. Most of all, the game looks beautiful. That's one thing right there, which you're not really going to think that it's that good looking, because you're probably watching this gameplay, and I'm going to say that it is in 720p because it's taken from my live stream. I would have streamed in 1080, but 720 is better for my internet, because, well, my internet was getting a bit throttled with 720, and 1080 would have throttled it within 2 hours, so I was streaming on 720, so the footage doesn't look exactly that good. It will be 1080 from now on though. It looks amazing though. The game looks absolutely fantastic compared to the beta as well. The beta back in, like, was it April or March? I can't remember. It was either April or May, it wasn't March. The beta didn't really look that good. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't amazing looking either, you know? It was all washed out, it was really dull and grey, and it didn't look much better than Gears of War 2, to be honest. But this game, fucking beautiful. The amount of colour that there is in this game, and colour doesn't make the game great, I know that. But just the way they've designed the game and how good it looks, that's something within itself right there, man. That's something to be appreciated. And another couple of things I want to talk about is definitely got to be some of the new game modes. I've implemented game modes that were successful from the other Gears of War games. I've got Guardian, which is one of my favourite modes in this game. In Guardian you play as the leader. Well, you can either play as the leader or just a normal player, and you get randomly selected to be the leader at the start of the round. I think it's based off of who the best player is. Usually the best player gets picked to be the leader. I think that is definitely true for that round at least. Say for example, if you got 9 kills and everybody else in your team got maybe 4 or 5, you're going to be the leader. And whoever gets the most kills in the next round will be the leader, and so on and so forth. At least that's my train of thought anyway. But when you're the leader, your team gets infinite respawns when you're alive, but if you get killed as the leader, your team only have 1 life, and once they're dead, they can't come back. So it's a really tense game mode, you know. The leader is definitely the focus of everybody's fire and attention, and it's just such a great game mode, you know. They've got Arms Race, which comes back from, I'm not too sure if it was Gears Judgment or any of the other Gears of War games, or if I'm not sure if it's new, but Arms Race is this game mode where each team starts with the power weapons. You start with, say for example, Boom Shot, and once your team gets 3 kills they progress on to the next power weapon. I'm not too sure if it's 3 kills or just more than that, but basically you have a power weapon, you progress up as a team onto the next power weapon. Think of it like gun game, except rather than one person move up, your entire team moves up. So you move up for each power weapon, and obviously you move on to the normal weapons after that, and it's really quite cool. I really do enjoy Arms Race. It's sweaty as fuck though, that's definitely for sure. Another game mode that they've added is new is Dodgeball. Dodgeball's never been in Gears of War games, and I think it's a completely new game mode to gaming. Like an entire concept is completely brand new. Basically in Dodgeball, the way it functions is all team members spawn alive, and once you kill a team member on the other team, they're dead until you kill another team member. Whoever died first is put at the top of the list, and it goes down like that. So say for example, if there's been 4 players in your team killed and 1 person's left alive, if that 1 person kills an enemy player, the top player on the top of the list to come back comes back, and it keeps going on like that. And it can get tense as fuck at times, man. You can get some 1v1 situations, and you can get like 1v5 clutches, and it's fucking awesome. I can tell there's going to be so many clips hitting Dodgeball, it's going to be amazing. King of the Hill is another game mode I really do enjoy. I love King of the Hill. I'm not too sure if King of the Hill is Annex, or if it's the exact same thing, but King of the Hill, man, really good game mode. I'm really enjoying playing that so far. We've obviously got Warzone, which basically just works as a 1 life TDM game mode, and then you've got Team Deathmatch as well, which each team gets 15 lives. Once all 15 lives are depleted, then there's 1 life left for everybody on the team, and if you die, you won't come back until the next round, so it gets really tense. I've got a little bit of 1v1 footage in this gameplay, as you've seen. I didn't manage the clutch, but man, I was happy enough with myself for managing to get that far anyway. You know, Gears of War 4, man, it's just so fun. It's so unbelievably fun. And I feel like I've said that already, because I have. It's because you need to listen. It's fun. Go pick up this game. Campaign is great as well, man. So is Horde. But this is a multiplayer review, as I said. Now, another few features that are new to the multiplayer this year is pumping active reloads is no longer a thing. You do not need to waste your ammo from spawn. Basically, what happened in the original Gears of War games is if you were playing Annex on a or King of the Hill on a super close range map, you know, like super close quarters, what everybody would do is just empty an entire shotgun magazine into the wall and then run into the middle of the map. Perfect active reload, and you've got a little damage buff. Because when you get a perfect active reload in this game, when your reload hits the middle white bar, not the middle grey area, the white bar on the right, on the left edge of the bar of the grey area, when you hit that, you'll get a perfect active reload. And what a perfect active reload is a perfect reload, and it gives you a little damage buff. It doesn't last forever, it lasts maybe 10 or 15 seconds, but it can make all the difference in a gunfight. And Coalition knew this. They knew that people were doing that as soon as they made Gears of War UE. And basically in this game they've changed that, so you no longer need to pump active off spawn. All you need to do is wait 4 or 5 seconds and your reload regenerates, which means you can just reload off the cuff and then you've got a full, fresh, perfect active reload, so you don't need to pump it and waste ammo anymore. And I feel like that's a good thing right there. A lot of people argued against that and I wasn't keen on it originally in the beta, but after going back to Gears UE, I realised how many people were pumping their active reloads. So it's good that the Coalition have actually addressed that and made it an actual feature instead of having people, you know, kind of exploit, because it's not an exploit, but it definitely is a cheesy as fuck thing to do. So it's good that they've done that, they've addressed it and made it a feature, you know, because everybody did it. The Epic Games, it's funny because Cliffy B talks about it in so many interviews. He knew it was a thing. And at least the Coalition have went to the effort of actually making it a feature, so you don't have to keep doing it now. So massive shout out to them for getting that feature sorted. Another thing as well is the new cover system. It's the same as it always was, but close cover quarter combat. I'm not too sure how you pronounce that. They introduced this in Gears of War 3. Basically, if someone's on the other side of cover, what you can do is if you're roadie running at that piece of cover, you can basically kick over and stumble that opponent, but they've went further with it this year. If someone's on the adjacent piece of cover that you're on, you can yank them over the cover and you can stab them in the face. They are actually stunned for a couple of seconds, so you do have time to do that animation. Or you can just whip out the chainsaw them and saw them in half, whatever you feel like really. But going for the shank definitely is the better option. Also, this isn't just a feature that cannot be stopped. There is a way to stop that attack. If you press the B button whilst they're in the middle of doing that animation, you can stop them from doing it, they will be stunned, and you can reverse that on them. So it's not one of these cheesy features that cannot be stopped, you know, it's not an unstoppable death machine at close range. You know, you can stop it, you can turn the tables on them, and I do love that that's a thing, you know. Like the glory kills in Doom this year, if someone glory kills you, there's no way you can stop that, you know. And that's what I really got pissed off at in Doom this year, because there's no way to stop that. But at least in Gears of War they've got a feature like that that can be stopped. So that's something I'm quite keen on. Moving on, however, is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and that's going to be the loot cases, because I am getting on for about 11 minutes here and I wanted to make this a 10-minute video, fuck's sake. But most of all, there is these new gear packs. Now, don't get the wrong impressions and think they're like supply drops, because I had somebody on my fucking stream that thought they were yesterday. These gear packs, right, they're basically nothing bad at all. They're basically like the fucking rec packs from Halo 5. Now, if you don't know what the rec packs from Halo 5 are, there is select packs that you can actually buy. There is Versus boosters, Horde boosters, which give you a little XP boost based on what you do in the Horde mode, or in Versus multiplayer. Say for example, you can pick a bounty, and if you get 10 kills in that round, you'll get a little XP boost, which is quite cool to be honest. Also, there is the Operations pack and the Elite packs that you can buy. Now, both of those feature customization options such as character skins and weapon skins, which changes from the older Gears of War games, because previously you just bought those outright. Now, the way those works in multiplayer in Gears of War 4 is they don't change the nature of the gameplay. They don't change it at all, it's just a skin, that's all. And another thing as well is if you don't like having to unlock these skins, there is a way to actually build them now. Obviously, you're going to need to unlock some of the skins at some point, and if you've got a really fancy skin, like a really top tier skin you don't like using, you can scrap it and get this material called scrap, and basically what you can do with that is craft one of the new cards. So say for example, if you want Armoured Marcus, because you don't unlock him from the start of the game, if you really want Armoured Marcus, what you can do is scrap one of the cards that you already have. You can scrap one card and you might have enough, but chances are you might need to scrap a couple of cards. So if you've got a lot of duplicate skins that you don't want, you can scrap them and make a new card. Basically what you do with this card is then you go over and craft build, and then it will build one card and it will use that material that you have left over. Now the thing that's cool with the packs this year is if you get a card like a skin and you really don't like that skin, you can scrap it. You don't need a duplicate to scrap it. It's that simple, and I really do applaud the Coalition for adding something like that in, because everybody got frustrated with that in other games this year. I don't even need to name the game that everybody got pissed off with it, but yes, in that game you have to have duplicates to burn them, and then you can't do anything with them. But in this game, if you've got a card that you just don't like, you can just scrap it, and that's awesome. Another thing as well is you can either buy these microtransaction gear packs, or you can buy them with the in-game credit system. The in-game credit system is really awful though. I think it really needs to be fixed, but I think the Coalition know that already, so I'm not really going to bring it up. but you can buy it with real life money, or you can buy it with in-game credits, which is quite cool. Another thing as well, fuck, what was I about to say? I just got lost in my train of thought right there. Shit, I remember. One thing that I've got to rant about though is there is no character customization natural unlocks, which means in the previous Gears of War game, say for example, if you hit level 25, you might unlock a character skin, like Locust Pharaon, but this year you can't do that. All of these customizations options that were natural progression unlocks are now in the supply drop or loot cases. It's not fair, and I really don't like the way that is, you know. I think that at least a couple of skins should be naturally unlocked. I'm not too sure if there is fancy skins for doing stuff in multiplayer, like the Golden Lancer. I'm not too sure if you can unlock that for re-upping as you usually would have, but I do feel like something like that should be in the game. And it's a little bit frustrating that it's not, because that's what Gears of War has always had, and it's a little bit frustrating that it's not in the game anymore. Maybe if you just gave us a base model of the character at a specific level, and then we could still roll in these packs, you know, like open them up, hoping to get a fancy version of the skin. Something like that would be completely awesome. I just feel like there should be natural unlocks as well as these loot items. It would just make it a little bit more fair, and it wouldn't be as frustrating as it is right now. But overall, Gears of War 4 is a really great game, man. Don't get me wrong, as much as I complain about it right now, it's still a tremendous game. I'd say this is easily one of my contenders for Game of the Year, maybe even already my Game of the Year. And that's obviously quite hard to do this year, because there's been a ton of good games already. And it's going to be hard because there's Modern Warfare Remastered and fucking Battlefield 1 coming up. But honestly, man, I think this could be my Game of the Year. I'm really enjoying it, and it's seriously gotten under my skin, you know. I'm just sitting there thinking, oh man, I want to play some Gears of War 4, man. And it's like, dude, I've not been excited as much for a game than I was for Doom. I was that excited for Doom, and I've never been that excited for a game up until this game. I don't think I'll ever be that excited for another game until the next Gears of War game comes out. Which, I need to say, I am excited for if the Coalition are going to make another one. And I know they are, because apparently this is a new generation of Gears of War. And I know that there's going to be another game because of that campaign ending. Yeah? Yeah, I can tell you're going to make a Gears of War game, you know? I can tell the Coalition are, and I'm happy for it. I am so stoked for the next game in the series, but so far this game has been amazing. Another thing as well is you get free DLC every month for the next year. How fucking awesome is that? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a Lone Courier. Massive shout out to the Coalition, man. You've done a fucking great job this year. I was surprised. I genuinely was surprised by how good a job you did in this game, man. Fucking hats off to you guys. You did it. You've proved me wrong. So yeah, so glad this game turned out good, you know, man. I would have been so crushed if this game was shite, but it's not. It's amazing. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been a Lone Courier. I'll see you guys in the next one. This review was not biased as fuck. Peace.